So basically, what I wanted to talk about, and I think I'm gonna stop saying so basically because like you're not, you don't know like what I said before, so I should stop saying that. I'm gonna stop saying that regardless. Um, so I'm finding my groove in doing things differently now because like as I'm auditing myself and my content in that regard, I'm seeing how fast I'm doing things and how fast like within my own dimension of how things are able to like be executed in that instance of that function that's been operated to do. Um, Hopefully that made sense. I'm speaking computer in that regard, and I'm giving so the vibe that I'm going with is like your internet boyfriend, to be honest. And I want to like actually make it to like an actual thing, even though my tech knowledge is like very minimal because I had learned some JavaScript, some um, mainly Python, and then I know I had taken like the Apple it was like their version of like computer learning. I think it was Bit, something like that. So I had taken a course on that. It wasn't a long-term thing. I just wanted to know like the how code is written and then like, the playability of it in that regard because like I was gonna go to DigiPen for like um it was gonna be for game design, but at that time I didn't know what I was wanting to do because like after fashion I was like this is just not working out for me. And I feel like what I'm trying to do is actually do something other than just focusing on fashion. It's actually having a face, having a name, and actually like being heard and having my message received. Is how I would put that. Because it's like I'm sending a signal out there, hoping one day that someone will reach it. But it's just like at what point in time will that actually happen? And I want to make that happen now. I feel like that's why I'm speed running things, but it's just like I'm not speed running things like purposely. It feels like it's done unintentionally, purposely. And that's how I view art as very like sometimes like the imperfection is perfect because like even with my hair, it may not be perfect, but I mean like the thought and action and time to do this, to take action and initiative to do it on my own accord rather than just like setting an appointment and like actually just waiting on the days to have that done. I feel like that's not a valuable time of your like efficient time in that regard because like you're just waiting to do that. Like why not just do it now? Like is how I want to put that. Because like I'm all about the now rather than just saying like, oh, I'll do it like in a few days or I'll do it later. Maybe I'll plan a vacation like 3 weeks out. I'll just literally do a photo shoot maybe like 4 weeks out and next month. Like I can't think like that. Like I can't comprehend people thinking like that. Like why not just do it now? Like if you want to be able to do something, just do it now while you are thinking about that time because things can change like as the days go on is how I want to put that. And there's no topic for today. I'm just like actually just thinking off the top of my head of like what to actually like say. Um, but I feel like as I'm like and I don't say like I'm maturing, but like I feel like I'm actually changing. And I think the change is a visible change rather than like the physical changes. But I mean, like it's actually, you can actually see the change that's happening in me if you watch my content. And I know there's gonna be people that haven't watched my content or they're gonna click off because like they see the lion videos. Like there's a real reason why I did that. Like it's not like just to be cringy or just doing like hopping on a trend. Like I'm like not for trends. Like I'm not for like hopping onto one and then just replicating what other people have did or have done and like just it's just me doing it but just me copying someone else. Like I don't see myself doing that and I don't want to do that. It's just like I don't want to also be like I guess a trend setter because trends like they literally have like an expiration date. Like once people like hop on it, then the expiration date is gonna like slow the progress down of what you were I guess like what you got viral for, and then like you start becoming boring and it moves to the next topic is how I want to perceive that. But it's just like I don't want to live my life like that. Like I really want to actually like have a voice and like have like a consistent like source of like support, especially building something like this as like my legacy. And I want like people to be invited into what I'm doing. Like I want to actually have like a conversation and build like a network of people that I can actually talk to that actually think like me and move like me because that's who I'm actually looking for. Because like I'm seeing how people are like actually operating on how they're living their life, and it may seem like very normal to them, but it's just like from what I observe and hear, it's like even like what's going on right now with the FIFA World Cup. It's just like I'm hearing people like kind of argue with like sports teams and everything like that. But I'm like, they're not playing the sports itself. I mean, they are part of like the community itself. And I was just talking to myself about this, like just actually thinking about it. Like they're not actually playing the sport itself. They're talking like as if they're on the team like itself. And I'm saying like as the team as like they're physically playing on the team. And it's just like when they and then if their team loses, like they get there's like an argument that happens, but it's just like, bro, it's literally sports. Like, why is it that deep? I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. But that's guys for you. I don't know. That's just like my interjection on like why that is specifically is. Um, and like I said, this video doesn't have any topic or anything like that. This is just like me just kind of like processing like information that's like kind of being like communicated to my brain that I'm trying to communicate to you guys. I feel like I should say that differently. I'm feeling information is being loaded onto what I'm going to say to communicate to you guys. There we go. That's how I say it. But I feel like I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know if I want to do like streaming because like I don't want to actually do like live streaming. Like that can be really like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But I mean for now I'm gonna keep it like this. Um this is more of like an update type of video. Because for my look, I'm trying to go for a more masculine look because like for some reason the camera flips the video and it just looks very different. And I don't know why. Because like right now I like how I look, especially at this angle, especially how my face is just like looking at one point, but it's like when the video is flipped, because the video is going to be flipped, it's going to look a little bit differently. So I feel like I don't know that's just something that I just thought of. But so when I'm working at Boss, like I'm seeing these other guys, like they are having because I made another video on this too, that there's other guys that come into Boss not knowing what they want to wear, and it's like you don't have to use that much of your brain capacity just to think for yourself, especially thinking like of what you're going to wear, rather than having like your significant other, pick something out for you. Because like I feel like when you're not using your brain to just think creatively of what just a basic outfit of what to wear for guys' perspectives, having their wives decide what they should look good in or like what they're gonna wear is that it's like bro, like you're gonna like I just want like other guys to like actually like break out of like literally thinking like that. And I don't like that because like when I'm in what I mean by and the reason why I bring this up is because like, I just thought of this because like there were I'm gonna say just one couple that just came in looking for a suit for their wedding that they were coming up. And there's another thing too is that like people come in last minute, especially if it's like a wedding or something like that. Like why are you waiting till like the last week to like get like a suit like you know fitted, because you got to think of alterations. Or guys not thinking about that because I mean, like you have to like have some time in between to allocate, just in case if there needs to be like redone to it to kind of like make sure that everything's perfect. And guys need to also take in consideration of like what how much weight. Like if you gain weight, the suit is not going to feel the same. So I feel like if you're gonna get a suit, have it have it get it off the rack first, just buy it off the rack because you don't know how much. So like what I mean like with weddings, because I've never been to a wedding and I haven't like had like a friend to like invite me to one, which is fine because like I don't. But anyways, if you're planning your I'm not sure how to structure a planning a wedding, but if you're planning a wedding within like a few months, or if it's like next year that you're actually planning for the big day, still that's a long time because you don't know what's gonna happen in between. But for a few months, just buy it off the rack because you don't know how much weight you might gain because you might gain 5, 10, 15 pounds, or you might lose 5, 10, 15 pounds depending on like the activity that you're doing. And if you buy it off the rack, I would say like wait maybe like I don't know, have like a month in between, a month or two in between, and actually take in consideration of like the weight and how like your health is, and then do some alterations to it. Because like the couple that I was saying before earlier, it's kind of like unrelated, but like with the couple I was saying earlier, I was speaking directly to him, like, okay, what color are you looking for your suit? Even though it's just like typically black, but I have to like ask what color to just start the conversation. So I would say like, what color are you wearing? The customer says, I don't know. So it's just like, okay, if you don't know what color you're gonna wearing, how am I gonna help you? Because like if let's say I choose the color and it's not like the color of the wedding that you're looking for, like have some like say into like the conversation because he was very timid. And I know there's guys out there, and I was even like that before, and I was just like, at some point you're gonna have to actually speak up. And right now I'm speaking up and format that actually is like suitable and like I feel comfortable talking in because I want to actually talk of like how I'm actually feeling. So when I was talking to him like a color, he said he doesn't know. So I'm like, okay. So then this is before I knew it was a wedding. So then I said like, okay, is what's the occasion that is for? Then he said it's a wedding. I said, it's your wedding? Then he said yes. So I'm like, okay, yes, okay, sweet. So we just went with black. And then I asked him, what is his shirt size? And I mean, that can be confusing because like I would give him that because when I say shirt size, I mean, there's different numbers. There's a different numeral system on shirt sizes, but Boss, I mean, it has like the size in it already, like small, medium, large, or it can go by like your neck circumference. So when I asked him what's his shirt size, which I could have been more specific with, is that I said, well, he said, I don't know. So I gave him some grace because like he probably didn't know like the actual number system of like the dress shirts is because I'm assuming this is his first time like wearing a dress for wearing a suit for a formal occasion to dress in. So when that happened, I was just like, so I guess his fiance like answered for him of what his shirt size is, where his shirt size is, and I was like, I'm trying to give you an example of what I mean of the people that I'm dealing with because it's just like for you to not come in, and this is not coming up in a negative way. This is just me expressing like how I'm feeling, and I just want to make that clear off the rip because like there's no judgment in anything. I'm just like giving you information of like what I have been receiving, and I want to just like formulate my words in order to like express like I guess not confusion, but just more of like I don't know how to actually frame this kind of like thinking because like when the point where his fiance was answering questions that I was asking him directly, it's just like this is what I mean. But I'm just gonna leave it at that because like and that's just one example of one I want to give because I mean because I made a video with like why is human fashion so mid and I'm also like looking at stores itself like that because it's just not Google Boss, it's like Nordstrom itself because I know that John W. Nordstrom like built Nordstrom as a shoe place first and then somehow it branched off into doing fashion like actual like clothes. um But I know like when I go in like before work, and I don't really do it anymore that often. I just walk around the mall to be honest, just to get like on my walk in. Treating it like, it's the park. So I'm just like doing my walk before like I clock on again. So it's just like at Nordstrom, it's very like so from when I worked there, it's the person that was like hiring me, that's like this is not a department store. But if you think of like Macy's, I mean that would be a department store, but like basically it doesn't have like I'm not sure if there's. I think not. I'm not sure if there's like bedding or anything like that because I know like in Bellevue there is like bedding and stuff like that. But when that be like a department store with different brands in their own department is what I'm like confused at. Is like I was told this one it's not a department store, but it's like it basically is because you have different brands in different parts of the store, but they're higher end brands. So I'm confused on that of why it's not a department store. But I go in there just to look at the fashion, especially the mannequins. I mean, people may be looking at me weird, especially how I come in like not every day, but like every like I don't know, like the days that I'm off, I just go into Nordstrom just to see what they have and see how they change the mannequins and like everything like that. Cause like I am getting experience as a visual merchandiser, but like I'm learning on my own accord because like I had reached out to multiple people about this to get like formal training. And it's just like no one's answering me. Like especially the regional visual merchandiser that literally like works in the region, like he's not answering me. So it's just like I'm gonna have to do this on my own accord because like if I want to learn and actually be better at something, I have to learn first to make mistakes to like actually learn from that experience on what I can do to be better. And it's just very sad on that how that is. But I mean, I guess that's like the workforce of like not trying to take someone's job, but like literally I'm just learning on how to get formal experience in that training specialty, I guess is how I would put that. But with Nordstrom, it's just like with like the department situation, like it's just like I'm so confused for one. Number two, it's just like some of the clothes that these designers, it's the buyers that I'm questioning because like I'm like, who is your client that you're buying for that's gonna buy this? Like actually, like dead ass, that's actually gonna buy this because I'm seeing cool stuff in there, but the rest of it, it's very like a local designer could have designed that. to be honest, in my opinion. Because like the stuff that I'm seeing is very, and it's being charged like for like 700. Because I know with there's like Tom Ford as well. I mean, I just walked around in the men's section to see like what's like a basic shirt. I mean, like I could potentially get, but the shirt itself was 750 for a basic white shirt. And I'm not saying like money is like a thing that I want to talk about, but it's just like for a basic white shirt, depending on like what factory that made it, you're just basically buying for the name itself. Like it doesn't really make any sense, especially how like fashion is already. Because like what I'm trying to do is actually become like a fashion designer and a fashion runway model. But if I want to be a designer, I have to have my face out there so people know like my vibe and aesthetic. And once I can secure that, that's when I can go into fashion design so people can know what my aesthetic is all about. So that's the angle that I'm getting at is that like I'm thinking about this very strategically and differently now, like of how to like actually live life and actually be grateful for everything and being upon like, just brought upon on this planet itself. And I'm just thinking about the planets differently. And it's just like I don't know how to like actually formulate on what I mean. And this video is a little bit serious. It's a little bit more chill version of myself. It's like the end of the day, pretty much as a recap. Um, but it's just really interesting on things in general. Like I'm just questioning. Like it's just like I'm literally questioning everything, to be honest. And even the fact that the when I first finally got to Nordstrom as to be able to work there, I was in the suiting area and I didn't know anything about suits. Just from watching videos does not help. Like literally, like I feel like not so I think in fashion, I feel like fashion design schools can be taught very differently. Because what I mean is that, so I'm watching like Next in Fashion, I'm watching like Project Runway or have watched that Project Runway, or like even say that, like shows like that of like, the reality like competition shows for like fashion design. And I feel like if a school can actually like emulate that, because like how do you think a student's going to do after they graduate? Because like from the juniors to the seniors are going to like move over. So basically it's like junior senior. Senior leaves, junior becomes senior. But what happened to the other seniors? Because like if the school actually cares, I mean they should have some input on like how they can actually help their students. Because like I've been trying so hard back then after I graduated, and I know you have to learn on your own, but it's just like for a school that only cares for profit of like how much money they're going to get as a school as the students like enrolling there, it's very sad on how like if there's more like education on like actually like being creative and like actually like a school. I mean, this is not be for everyone. I'm just giving like an example of like my case of my experience because the fashion program there could have been so much better. And when I give an example from like Next in Fashion Project Runway, if there was like, let's say like the professor is the main designer, the creative director. So when the creative director is actually telling the students on how to like actually like learn about fashion and like different like techniques, especially with fabrications and textiles, I feel like it would be really interesting if the professor started off the class as like, okay, so designer, this is going to be a case study, and like this is emulating a real world experience. And I had made a video like doing real world experiences if like a school could actually partner with like a designer brand and the designer brand doesn't have to like have like their students designs, but if there's this is just like an example, but like if they could have like a designer brand that we could actually partner with, that way we can also add that to our portfolio of what we did rather than doing case studies. But like for the case study that I'm going to give, it's just an example. So with the case study, it's like so here's like the theme of like what we're going with. This is like the Met Gala. This is going to be for the red carpet event. So we're going to design like an extravagant dress. So with the dress, you give different objectives to different students on what to do and find different fabrics. So that gives us more research in fabric sourcing. That gives more us research on like who we're going to make the client for and build as a collective of like what the actual end product is going to be. So, and then you give us a time frame and that would, require us to like finish our deadlines, but to finish our task by a specific deadline. And then, within that, you would have like the sketches. So you would have like other people giving ideas of what they would want the product to be like. And like if you are part of a team, then you bring different elements from different people into one design. And I feel like that's what the school could have done. And then I see in Project Runway and Next in Fashion is that they do a team assignment. And I feel like that would have been useful if we were to be able to be taught team assignments, because don't you work on a team if you're building a product like that rather than doing book learning. Like I don't understand. Like I really don't understand. And I'm just rethinking it in my mind. Just like I'm very grateful for what I was, being taught, and even like the professors were even nice. But with my example, I feel like that would elevate the college experience, especially for a fashion program. Like that would actually get real world experience that you could add to a resume to help students so they can actually make it. Because like it's just like in my case, like I was trying to make a clothing brand itself, Zedro Glitch. So what I was doing was trying to like merge like my creative identities into like I think there was like four designs. So there was a hoodie, there was a t-shirt. I was gonna make like a shirt and some shorts, and there's also gonna be pants. So basically five designs. So, but the pants were gonna be a baggy pant with like a foam print with like the alien head on like the side of the band. The shirt was gonna have like a foam head on the shirt. It was like a white shirt. The shorts were just gonna be black with like the logo itself. And then I made so there was a compression shirt. So actually once, so there was a hoodie, compression shirt, pants, and shorts. So yeah, that was five. And then so I had a compression shirt that I had made with like an alien logo on the back of it, with like the name on the chest that said Zedro Glitch in a blue color. It wasn't this blue. I wanted to do something a little bit just kind of like it's looking very dark from this angle, and like the light's not on, but the blue color is something that actually is something that is a staple color, because Crosswell is my staple figure. But it's just like, how can I merge the alien like aesthetic of where my mind goes to becoming like a lion? And I want to merge that into this physical realm of how I can be able to communicate my message to you guys in a way that makes sense. And I have to paint like a story of what I mean so you guys can understand where my brain goes. Because like having schizophrenia, it literally changes like your mindset. And like I am seeing things and hearing things, and not in like a scary way. It's like I'm seeing things in a different way, and like in a different dimension is how I would put it. And in the way that I hear things, it's like it's in its own orbit. Like it's like I don't if I hear like if I hear something, then it's just like I think I hear my name. That's what it is. And I feel like that's what it is. And I don't know why. It's just like it's not like an animal type of thing, but it's just like the alien side is just like picking up frequencies, and it's like a sound frequency wave that I hear, that I hear something in that. Like even with so what I mean is when I say that is that like there's a song called like Iconic by Mistake by Cat's Eye, and I'm gonna get to Cat's Eye in a second. But with that song, I hear something in that song. Like I hear like a certain frequency wave note that I hear, and it's just like it's communicating, or not communicating, it's sending a signal to my brain. Um, I guess like I don't know how to describe it because I keep saying communicate, but it's not communicate. It's like different, like I'm synced to it in that regard. With Cat's Eye, like I feel like with that song, like so like I really see something in that song that like I don't know. I feel like a sense of like a hype, but it's just like a new power of hype. Like especially what they're saying. Like I'm like I don't know, there's something with what they're saying that I just vibe with. But I feel like I do want to be a part of like an actual boy group that would be developing. I don't know of any projects or product project like would they be project managers or like the scouting, whoever finds, to where to apply auditions. Like I want to be able to look for that. I'm just not sure where to look specifically, because like it's like I want to be like the equivalent to Cat's Eye. Like I want to be like the boy version of Cat's Eye. Like I don't get where like groups like they would form a group and then form another group and then form another group. And it's like if you just focus on just one group, making sure that they are successful rather than spending your time working on one group and then moving on to the next group and then moving. It's just like a factory line. That's what they're doing. But it's just like I just want to like actually be someone that people can like respect and vibe with, because I see a lot in my potential in my future. And I said that backwards. Talk like Yoda. I literally talk like Yoda. Like I just can't. But anyways, but yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. That is going to be the end of the video. I'm sorry. Like my brain is just like, I don't know why it does that, but Um, I'm still thinking of the name to end it with. I said Techie Cross, um, Techie Crosswell, Techie Xwell, Xwell. I think I'm gonna keep Xwell. So this is Xwell. So it's another version of Crosswell. I wonder how I look with like the lion look, uh, or with the. Okay, I wonder how I look without the lion look, and how I look with the lion look. Is how we're seeing it because like I would need another headpiece, and I'm very curious if I did like another color because it doesn't always have to be like that. And it's not really blonde. It's more of like a brownish, orangey, yellow type of color. That's like a main. Is how I would put that. Oh my God, I've seen that. Anyways, okay, so yeah, with that being said, uh, I want to say no, uh, Xwell out. There we go. I'll just say that. Like we'll just keep that Xwell, bro.